Hi there folks, so today is a nice day. I thought why not come to the Lizard in Cornwall and have a bit of a walk round and show you some of the way around the coast path, and I'll stop in the village, and of course why not start the day with an Anne's pasty. Got to be one of the best. All that meat and goodness in there, it's so warm and tasty. Anne's is just across the square from here. And then if you fancy a dessert, there's even an ice cream shop. Right, let's get on with it. So, this is Lizard Village. Over the years, many people have driven straight through the Lizard Village to reach the country's southernmost point. In doing so, they miss out on some gems hidden in plain sight. Here we have Mermaid Secret for gifts and local crafts. Closed at the moment because there aren't too many people around at the minute. But there's a bigger craft shop. And quite a good respectable house, top house inn. It says buy 5 pints and get 1 free. You'd want driving home then, though. So there's Anne's pasties, and that was delicious. I've just had one. But instead of going down to the Lizard, we're going to take a detour this way, past the ice cream shop. We're heading to Church Cove. Here we are down Beacon Terrace. Lovely sunny day, which is nice for January. We're in the hamlet, which is spelled Lendiwadnak, but is pronounced Landuinek. I'm sure I've got it wrong. But anyway, we'll plod along. As you get by the football club, we can see the sea just over there, and we'll get to it a different way. You can always tell you're in Cornwall when people grow palm trees in the front garden. This looks like one of the many Methodist chapels in Cornwall, but it says reading room above it, so I don't know how much reading ever got done. As we come to a bend in the road, there's a right turn here going to Church Cove, so we'll head off down this way. I think this old farm building's seen better days. I don't think it's supposed to have holes in the roof. That's a little bit too much ventilation. We reach this bend in the road, there's this beautiful thatched cottage called Church Cottage. Very nice. And over the other side we have St Winwallow's Church. Winwallow. Let's go for a look around. The church is open every day and you're welcome to go inside. So we maybe will then. There's a war grave from the Second World War. I've been in a few Cornish churches and they all seem extremely old. Oh no, most churches are, but some of these go way back. The church is famous because in 1678 the church's Reverend Robinson supposedly gave the last sermon to be preached in the Cornish language. St Winwallow, who lived around the year 500, was the son of a prince of ancient Cornwall. His family fled to Brittany to avoid an outbreak of the plague. There's a number of churches around Cornwall dedicated to him. The 12th century Norman archway is the oldest part of the church. Other parts are from the 13th and 14th century, but the tower was built in the 15th. And it's rather unique because it's built in alternating granite and local serpentine. The 20 square mile outcrop of attractive rock, which is centred at the end of the lizard, is unique in the UK. Originally formed over millions of years, the mineral produced a rich multicoloured veining. It was named serpentine in the 16th century because craftsmen thought it resembled snakeskin. Serpentine became very popular in Victorian times, and at one point there were 20 men and 3 boys who worked in the old serpentine works a few miles north of here. The church was restored in the 1860s. The base of the serpentine or serpentinite pulpit is dated 1860. There's a Victorian lectern made of polished serpentinite. So there we are. That's the polished serpentinite. It sort of resembles marble, but it doesn't weather too well. So people who were crazy about it in the Victorian times found that things were getting broken, and they chose not to replace them. So that's the serpentine on there too, or serpentinite. I'll get into the tower, but apparently there's 6 bells in there, all from different times. The earliest is from the 15th century, and the latest is from 1937. Rain over here on the wall, that's serpentine again, but that's a brown one for the men who fell in the Great War. Plague hit the parish in 1645 and killed several locals who were buried in the churchyard. However, 100 years later, the same area was opened up again to bury some poor sailors who were shipwrecked and died nearby. Oddly, the plague reappeared, taking more villagers. This part of the graveyard was fenced off and has never been used since. I think it's that part over there. Four of the graves are of mariners who survived the sinking of cargo ship Gare Sopper on the 17th February 1941, followed by 13 days in an open lifeboat, but were killed on the 1st of March when their boat capsized in nearby Cwm Cove. Talk about bad luck. Those steps are nice and treacherous. On the left we have what's called Parnvoos Cottage, Another beautiful thatched place. There are a couple of blue sheds on the side of the road, and although can't be certain, there were probably once a workshop and shop for serpentine goods. I think the man probably keeps his mower in there now. Another lovely cottage. And this large thatched building used to be an inn, but I don't think they get the custom these days. Well, somebody's living in it or staying in it. Mariners flat and cottages only. So obviously its use has been changed. But it was the Mariners Inn. Local thatcher must have used a cat for his trademark. One on the top there. And we head down to the cove itself. And there we can see the sea, you see. There are a couple of modern cottages here that don't know exactly when they were built, but when you've got that view, why not? As we come around this corner, we can see the lovely roundhouse, which is a 2-bed holiday let and is very popular. If you can get a spot, they charge between $445 and $945 a week. The winch house and the boat house are available for similar prices. The boathouse was originally a lifeboat house built at the cost of £300 in 1885 by two cousins who lost family members at sea. Unfortunately, it was only in use for 14 years because a larger lifeboat house was built at Church Cove. The lifeboat house then sold for £40, which is about $16,300 in today's money. Still very cheap, but I suppose they wanted to get rid of what was basically a stone shed back in 1899. There's a natural waterfall that runs down into the cove, so it adds to the beauty and character of this tiny hamlet. That would lull you off to sleep at night, wouldn't it? The waves crashing into the rocks at the bottom. It's very steep, this is. So, now I've got this steep path to climb. We'll see you at the top. So I'm here at the top, on the cliff top, and it's great views. Splashy waves down on the bottom is the entrance to Church Cove. And we see all the way around. And we just moved along the path a little way and we get the first glimpse of the Lifeboat house just down there. So let's go and explore. This is not what you want to see when you're walking around the cliff path. The edging's all fallen away. Hopefully nobody got hurt. I'm sure they get caught by these lovely raspberry bushes. Might get scratched a bit. Anyway, carrying on. Well, here's the Lifeboat house and the ramp. Monday to Thursday, 10:30 to 15:30. So, be aware the walk down and back up can be physically challenging. You don't say. Well, you only live once. This might be the end, but never mind. Carry on. As is obvious, this is a much bigger and more modern building than the little boathouse. Manned by volunteers. If they're available, you can visit, and if not, you can't. It does say open, so I'm going to have a plod down. If it's closed, or if you just want to have a look inside anyway, they have a 3D walk around on their website. I'll put the link below. Greenhouse on wheels is one way of them getting down to the Lifeboat house from the top. It's a great boat. I still wouldn't want to do their job. They go out in all the rougher seas. It's amazing. You think they used to go out in rowboats like that one over there at the top. And that's the one that was at the old Lifeboat house in the Lizard until 1961. And that one was at the station at the Lizard from 61 to 84. And that one says Lizard Lifeboat as well. I don't know when it was in operation. Give generously. Crew only. These are uniforms. There's a big old boat. Well, let's have a look around and seen that magnificent boat. Now all I've got to do is climb back up to the top again. No problem, I think I'll run. Maybe not. I think there's a about 165 steps to the bottom, so it's a good workout. A bit muddy in places. We haven't had rain for a few days, so hopefully it's better than it has been. Seems to be going uphill again. Fancy that. No, I didn't, but never mind. You can tell by the terrain that the cliff paths are not all in a straight line. A lot of them go up and down with the cliff faces. So, some might say they're interesting, and some might say they're exhausting. But, yes. When you live in Cornwall, this is it. You have to come down to the coast because this is where it all is, with all the beauty. It's always nice to watch the waves crashing against the rocks. We've had a great day today. Down we go, so we can rush back up the other side. Drink of water, anyone? You have to be that narrow to get through this gate, and with a bag on my back I can't get through, so I've got to take my bag off. Here's a small memorial from 2004, 15th of January. The Breton trawler Bouguered Brage sank off Lizard Point. Have a thought for the 5 sailors who lost their lives on that day. That's very sad. Well, somebody's laid flowers for them, that's very nice of them. As we turn around the corner, we come to Bass Point House. And after that, Bass Cottage. Bass Cottage was built in 1845 to house the coast guards who worked at the nearby lookout station. It's now yet another holiday let for £775 a week onwards, but it's certainly unique. And what a great view. So we're at Bass Point, according to the sign. A ship out at sea. Apparently from here, if you stay in one of the cottages, you can see dolphins, porpoises, seals, often spotted at sea, and badgers, foxes and rabbits visit the garden. National Coast Watch Institution, as we call it. It sits below here. The NCI is staffed and managed by volunteers who are known as watchkeepers. Watchkeepers monitor the sea and radio channels, looking out for potential incidents. When they spot a problem, they alert HM Coast Guard and direct the appropriate rescue services. There's a sign for the boats, so they know where they are. There's West Point. Hello.
Nice afternoon.
Lovely, isn't it?
Beautiful. It's not raining.
No.
Not at the moment.
Don't speak too soon.
Not at the moment.
There's a great view down there. I don't fancy rolling down it. Can't see it for the sun, can you? Never mind. Let's plod along. Just around the corner from the Coast Watch is Lloyd signal station. From the 1880s, Lloyd's operated a network of signal stations around the world connected to telegraph landlines that served to relay orders from owners and obtain reports from ships' masters. Messages for passengers could also be sent using a flag semaphore and light signals at night. In these days of radio and GPS signals and messages, most signal stations are now no longer used. This one is, guess what? Another holiday let. You can bring your family of 6 for a 180-degree view of the coast in high season for $5,750 for the week. Out of season, you can grab a week for as little as $2,750. You could stand on the roof waving a flag, pretending to signal your loved one going around the coast in a rowboat. Maybe. You just see in the distance the Lizard Lighthouse. We'll try and get over there. Follow the yellow brick road. Well, there's no yellow bricks. Never mind. And just below the signal station, got a few local residents here in the field. I don't really care about the view anyway, as long as the grass is long enough. So a container vessel out there by the looks of it. The Lizard Wireless Station. Next we come across these what look like 2 garden sheds looking out to sea. They are in fact the Marconi radio stations on Lizard Point. In 1900, the Italian inventor Guglielmo Marconi undertook groundbreaking wireless experiments on the Lizard, and he developed technology on these remote Cornish cliff tops that paved the way for today's instant worldwide communications. In January 1901, in these simple wooden huts, Marconi received a transmission from the Isle of Wight over 180 miles away, proving that radio would work over the horizon. This is great when you get to see people on, and dogs. I love seeing. Where are you going then, eh? Back to your boss. Hi there. I've got one like that at home. He's everybody's friend too.
Oh, see.
Marconi quickly developed the commercial potential of radio. Lizard Wireless Station was one of a dozen coastal UK stations which handled ship-to-shore messages for a fee. It was the first coastal radio station to receive an SOS call when in 1910 the Mini Ha-Ha ran aground off the Isles of Scilly and radioed for help. The huts have been restored now to look like they were in Marconi's day, and you can even rent one out from the National Trust as yet another holiday home for £380 a night. But think of the history. Well, if you do stay in the sheds, you get a great view at least. Don't take your airbed down there. The gorse bushes are all in flower, looking very nice. That's a nice little holiday home if you're not short of a shekel. I wonder which CEO lives there on his week off. What do you know, it's got a web address on it, so you can probably rent that one out too. Oh, wonderful. So, this little inlet is called Housel Bay, and if you don't fancy staying in the sheds, you could stay at the Housel Bay Hotel. You can stay at the hotel from £125 a night. It still has the remote views, but a tad more comfort as you watch the seagulls. You can make your way back to the Lizard via that path, but I'm going to try and get round to the other side and have a look at the lighthouse. Oh, a bit more of a climb down and up again. Let's see how we get on. That's a lovely place. Sit on the lawn and watch the world go by. Not sure why those chairs are fenced in, but I'm sure there must be a purpose. Probably stop them blowing in the sea. Oh, this looks like a hell of a trek. But once you've committed yourself, you just have to go with it, don't you? The steps are a bit precarious. Oh, they must have long legs in Cornwall. Hello.
Yep.
All right.
That way, you two.
No, I can get over there. Let's try. I'm not sure if there's a bridge or not. It looks a bit precarious. How do I get across this chasm? Oh, there is a way. There is a bridge across. Okay. Well, isn't that cute? That's one word for it. That's the stream running down. Dogs are banned on this beach. They call that a beach. Okay. I wouldn't want to take my dog there anyway. Get a broken leg. Never mind. It's all very pretty though. Gurgle, gurgle. And a few more steps. So we come down there and over the stream, and now we're going up there and up there. Should have brought crampons and a rope. Here we go. Seagulls laughing at me. Oh, I want to see you at the top. There's the hotel again. And that's the view of the bay. Hello, little man. There's a man on a boat. And when you get to the top of that flight of steps, you come across this gate, and it says unstable cliff, keep away from the edge. So I'm guessing that was the old cliff path along there. But now we've got, guess what? More steps. Well, you can call these things steps. Anyway, I've come this far. Let's plod on. You just see the sheds near the end there, Marconi's radio station. This sounds crazy, isn't it? This is Lizard Point, where I think that rock on the end, if I'm not mistaken, I think it used to have like a head on it, so it looked like a lizard. I might be wrong. I think that's what it was. If you know the reason that it's called a lizard, put it in the comments. Well, I could carry on for half a mile to Lizard Point, but then if I walk all the way down those rocks to the bottom, almost, I've got to come back up. And I want to head to the lighthouse, and that's over here. So I spotted this gate across the field, so I'm going to go that way instead. I think I've been up and downy bits today. They're still going uphill, yeah, but never mind. I hope there's a way through up there. I can't scale an 18-foot wall. Oh well, I got up to this far. This is on the outside of the Lizard Lighthouse. It was built in 1752, and for some time the Lizard Lighthouse and Heritage Centre was a place you could walk around on the inside. There's been a promise of it reopening for the past couple of years, but nothing's happened so far. I think there are apartments over there. I mean, there used to be lighthouse keepers' apartments, but now they're rented out. I think the National Trust own them. And here is this delightful foghorn. When I visited in the 90s, we were just below here walking with the dog, and they went off. And they certainly do wake you up. Very loud. I don't think they're used anymore. I'm sure ships have got better navigation aids these days. Well, I wasn't going to come this far, but I might as well now. This is a Lizard Point, and the southernmost tip of the United Kingdom or the British Isles, whichever way it is. And certainly it's a tip of Cornwall, who some would argue is a country in itself. Well, here's the little chalet shops at Lizard Point, and Britain's most southerly cafe. Well, you might be able to buy a pink ice cream. Oh, you are here. That's a nice thing. It says National Trust Wildlife Watch Point. We are closed. Hold on. No drones, no drones. Everywhere you go. It's very difficult to fly in a lot of places in Cornwall. We've got the Helston Coldrose Navy Station, who like flying helicopters around. And then we've got Newquay Airport, and a couple of little airports as well. I'm not going any closer to the edge because this is about as far as I want to go. Oh, great stuff. And down here we have the old lifeboat station, which has been 1914 this was built. So that's quite an old thing now. 110 years. Yes. I'm surprised they haven't let that out for a holiday let. Bring your own sou'wester and Wellington boots. So there's a tiny beach over here. Oops. I'm not going to go down there though. I think we've gone far enough. Ooh. Cheap, cheap. And then walk a mile or so to Lizard Village. Let's go.